Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. Today I'm going to talk about a camera that has such a unique and special place in my life and in the life of my family, basically. And this camera is this beauty right here. This one here is the Nikon D3100. Now, some of you may be wondering, is this vintage? Not quite. Not quite, but it is close enough that I want to actually talk about this camera. This is the camera that I used to shoot my kids when they were much younger, because believe it or not, I have teenagers now. When my son was 3 years old back in 2010, that's when I purchased this camera. This camera had just been released. It was just out on the market. And back then I was such a digital tech enthusiast that I was buying all the new tech that would come out. And that's how I came into possession of this camera. I loved this camera so much, and I used it to shoot some really memorable times and periods and occasions of my family, birthday parties, you name it. It was the go-to camera. It was actually an upgrade of a Minolta point and shoot camera that I had prior, and this one came in and it was versatile. It's a crop sensor, but it was versatile because I could use it not just for photos but also for videos. It took 1080p shots, and 24 frames per second. It had that quality to it. You know, it was quite cinematic, and I loved this camera. Along the way, I became a little bit disillusioned with this camera because I felt like I wasn't growing as a photographer. I could only shoot on auto mode, and that hunger in me was no longer there because it became quite monotonous for me. I felt like I did not understand the camera. I knew that I could just put it in auto and shoot, but I did not understand the basics of photography. And that is what encouraged me to actually start getting into film photography, because with film, I knew that there was no margin for error. I was forced to understand the principles of photography. I was forced to understand the interplay between shutter speed and aperture and ISO, and how to compose a good image and how to do exposure compensation and all of that. And that happened just because I started shooting film. And I've told this story before, but once I started shooting film, and after a few years, when I went back to this camera, I realized that, oh my gosh, I'm starting to enjoy photography. I'm actually enjoying a digital camera. There was a time, there were like a few years when I was really into film that I refused to touch a digital camera. I got several point and shoot cameras in all the lots and all the, thrift hauls that I was making, but I would just put them away because I had no interest. I was so much into film. I did not want to even touch a digital camera, and that included this camera. And I say this camera because technically not this camera, to the point that I even sold my original D3100. So I sold it. The original one that I was shooting my family with, I sold that camera. But when I came back to digital, and I wouldn't say come back to digital, but when my horizons expanded and I started not just shooting with film but also shooting with digital, I missed this camera. I wanted the exact camera just for that nostalgia, just for that. I wanted this camera because it had a very important place in my life and in the life of my family. It has such a significant place. So I went to look for this very camera again, D3100. I didn't want another model. I wanted the exact model, and I bought the exact model. So this is actually the second D3100 camera that I have. So that's a little backstory. And when I went back to it, I found that I understood. I understood how to shoot with aperture priority, shutter priority, exposure compensation, all the knobs on this camera. I actually understood it now. And that is the story behind this camera. This camera, like I said, I have shot so many, important videos with it for my family. But what I wanted to showcase is recently, and that was last summer, I went to Niagara on the lake and I took the camera with me. It was such a great time and I shot some really cool photos and I wanted to share these photos with you. And if you appreciate the work that I'm doing on this channel, this revitalized channel, and the effort that I'm putting into this, please drop a like and please subscribe to this channel. Check out these photos and enjoy. Hey, thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed the photos. If you want to support my work, please go on vintagetechmall.com. You're gonna find there's a blog. I write quite a bit on there. I also have some of my videos are there. I also have a store, like a vintage equipment and electronics store that you can actually buy stuff from. Please support my work. And also, I have an eBay store, and all you have to do is follow the link in the description of this video, and it will take you right there. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.